Lay down, buddy. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have anything to talk about tonight. I'm just hopping on. I'm just going to chat for a few. Wanted to do a few reminders, let people know that our mini reads are going back to Wednesdays starting tomorrow. We're not going to do Thursdays. Thursdays just doesn't work. So we're going back to mini reads on Wednesday. Yay, everybody likes mini read Wednesday. So we're going to keep them on Wednesdays. Like I said, I just want to hop on, check in, let people know, some reminders. Also, I have been off today. I'm not feeling great. And so I just wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing. Like I said, do a few reminders. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hello. Anybody want to say hi? Thank you for all the likes, guys. I appreciate that. I'm not going to be on very long. Like I said, I'm off today. Not feeling so great. So I'm just kind of hopping on to check in, see if anybody's had a loss and everybody's okay. Anybody has a loss that they need to talk about. Hello, hello. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Thank you. I don't know. My stomach's just off today and I've kind of gotten a headache coming and yeah, I don't know. Just one of those days. How does everybody's weekend go? I have to be honest because that's what I do here. I talk about feelings and how life is going. And so Sunday was rough. I'm not going to lie. Sunday was rough for me. So my daughter, since my husband passed, my daughter took, sorry, my nose always as soon as I get on live. My daughter took the program from my husband's funeral and she opened it up and put it inside of a frame. And she's had that hanging in her house forever. And because they have like a fishing poem or something on the back, right? And so when you open it up, you get the front with this picture and then you get the little poem from the funeral. And so I had bought a frame for one of mine and I was going to do that. And then I moved at the end of last October, if you're new here. I moved to California for a couple months, 3.5 months or so. Anyway, and then I never got it done while I was there. And so Sunday I thought, well, how fitting is that, right? Father's Day to finally get my husband's program into a frame from his funeral. So I got that done. But like I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm always authentic here. I had a really rough day, guys. Very emotional day. I think more for my kids. Bentley, stop. Sorry, my dog's just being so annoying lately. And anyway, so I think I was more emotional. No. He likes to sit on my tripod. He does that every time. He's got a whole room to sit in and he's got to sit. Go, lay down. So anyway, so yeah, I'm just rambling. I'm just here to chat for a few minutes. I'm not going to stay on very long. I haven't been feeling good. I've been off since the weekend. Friday, I spent the day, took my mom to the thrift store and out for the day. No, go lay down somewhere else. Sorry, my dog is being a pain. You can lay up there, but you're not going to lay on my tripod. I just got a new one, so I don't want him to break it. Because my light was broke. So I got me a new tripod. So I'm trying that out for tonight. Anyway, so Friday I spent the day with my mom and trying to enjoy time with her as much as I possibly can, right? And so her and I went to the thrift store, her favorite thrift store. That's what she loves to do. My mom's 78. She's on oxygen. She doesn't get out very much. And so we went to the thrift store, did some grocery shopping, and then Saturday I took her out to my aunt and uncle's lake, and we did some fishing. We just caught some small stuff. But I'm trying to spend time with my mom while I know that I'm here and just, right, trying to, one, find my joy. Anybody else trying to find your joy sometimes? Sometimes it's harder for me here. If you're not familiar, I'm living in Iowa. I'm in my brother's basement at the moment, starting over. And so, yeah, so if you're not familiar, by the way, my name is Renee. Welcome. Normally I have something to talk about, and tonight I'm just not feeling great. So we're just chatting at the moment. So anyway, so I spent the day Friday and Saturday with my mom. Sunday, I was trying to get what I call my little apartment clean. You know, you ever just, you're busy going all week and then everything kind of just gets disheveled and dishes and laundry and all that good stuff, right? But I was very, very emotional Sunday. But I finally got my husband's program from his funeral in the frame. I definitely had more than one moment. If you're new here, I always say it's okay to have a moment. Just don't unpack and live there. I didn't unpack and live there, but I had several moments Sunday. Like I said, I more feel for my kids, that their dad wasn't here, right? Just sharing memories, right? Memories that would come up on Facebook and sharing, I think made it more emotional. And just to let people know too that, it's okay to feel, right? I think sometimes people think, they don't want to cry or they don't want to get upset. It's okay to do that, right? You have to feel it to heal it. And so if you're not familiar, that's what we talk about here. We talk about loss, and that's why I'm here. My husband, for TikTok purposes, unalived himself September 14th of 2023. And that's when I discovered that I had abilities and discovered my purpose, which is to help other people through loss and trauma. And so that's why I'm here. And normally that's what we talk about. But like I said, tonight I'm just kind of chatting. So if anybody's had a loss that they wanted to talk about while I'm on, pipe in. We are not shy here. I only have 2 rules. I just ask that you be kind, always be kind. And the second one is we talk absolutely no politics. It's just not at all what my page is about. I always like to say I'm on my journey of life where I am, and you're on your journey of life where you are. And none of us are going to agree on everything. And so we also agree to disagree here. Sometimes I say things that maybe you don't believe in, right? I'm very spiritual, and that's okay. I'm not here to push my belief on anybody else. Like I said, we agree to disagree here. So like I said, I'm just here to chat. And I know I've said, like I said, 100 times, I'm not feeling great. I'm just not up to par. And so, but I don't like to not get on. I like people to know that I'm here. Even if I'm not here or not here very long, I am here. And so I just wanted to get on and check in with people and see how everybody else is doing. Thank you for the heart, Jessica. I appreciate that. Honestly, I'm going through some transitions in my life, right? If you're not new here, I came back to Iowa at the beginning of February. My guides led me back here. This is where my husband unalived himself. And so they led me back because I was really struggling with PTSD of that day. And so they're like, Renee, you have to go back and do some full circle healing, because I had pretty much healed everything or working on it. But I was really struggling with the PTSD of that day. And so they're like, you have to go back to Iowa and you have to heal that. And I've come back and I've worked on that, and I feel like I've healed that. If you're not familiar, I have a purpose, and my purpose is to help others. And my guides slowly, have given me each step of my purpose. The first being hopping online and telling people about my story, and so I've been doing that, and I've been on TikTok for 2 years, talking about my story, and I share uplifting videos of messages that my guides give me almost every day, sometimes multiple messages a day. And I'm just, it's kind of been taking a toll on me, just a little bit. So I've decided to step back. I'm only on 3 days a week instead of 4. I've been on basically 4 days a week for at least a year and a half. I did take a little, I think I went back to 3 days a little bit last summer when I was working 2 jobs. But I'm just feeling I'm in that transition again, right? Where I'm not sure what that next step is. They're slowly giving me that next step. So has anybody ever had that feeling, where you're kind of like just in the hallway, right? Like you don't really belong where you were, but I'm not really to that next step either. So I'm just kind of in the hallway waiting for that next chapter, that next door. Okay, like what's going to happen, right? Yeah. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I apologize if I'm going to get emotional. It's just been a long 2.5-year journey. And, yeah, like I said, I've just kind of been in a funk since Sunday, off and on actually for the last month. I haven't been sharing, which I normally do. I get on, my guides have me share. And I've just been kind of keeping it to myself. But I'm just kind of in a funk. And I know that this too shall pass, right? It's hard when you're an A personality and you want to control everything. And I went from, being that person to basically waiting for the next step, having faith of what is that next step, because my guides have just always given me that next step, right? And so, I'm still human, and so I'm just struggling with what that next step is going to be in my life. Just a little bit. And some days it's harder for me to deal than other days. So anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at, right? I just kind of been in a funk. I know kind of what's coming in my future. I've had visions of my future. If you're new here, my name is Renee, by the way. Tell me who you are, where you're from. And so, yeah, I'm kind of just in that transition in the hallway, right? Trying to figure it out. I'm sorry to hear that, Jessica. Aaron from Orlando, welcome. Well, you're in the right place, Jessica. That's what we talk about here, right? We talk about struggles, and this is why my page was created, because after I lost my husband, I had my one best friend and I had my kids, and my kids kind of stepped back too, because, they didn't understand what I was going through. My entire world, if you're new here, basically collapsed. 32 years crumbled by his choice. And that's when I discovered my purpose and my abilities. And so I just kind of deep dived into meditation. And so that's all I did, is I meditated and I worked, trying to figure out who was I alone. And so that's part of the reason why this page was created, is so people know that they're not alone. Because I felt very alone at times. And I never wanted anybody to ever have to feel how I felt when I lost my husband. And so I wanted a safe place for people to come if you're alone and you're struggling, if you've lost somebody, if you've had any loss. And loss can be anything: the loss of a relationship, the loss of a person, even sometimes a job that has been your whole world for a long time, and you don't know what that next step is, right? And so that's why this page is here. It's here for people to know that they're not alone. And I have some really great people in this community. Thank you for the follow, Erin. I appreciate that. Put my glasses on so I can read the chat. And so, so that's kind of why I'm here and what my page is about. It's about helping other people through their loss and helping them figure out their next steps, right? And that's my goal, right? Is to be able to not only help people through their healing process, but to be able to help them figure out, okay, where do they go from here? If you lose your whole world, right? Thank you for the heart, Mia. I appreciate that. Is it Terry? Because, when you have a loss of 32 years and the person that you've spent your whole entire adult life with, you don't know who you are, maybe, or where you're supposed to go from here, right? And that was me. I'd been with my husband since I was 16 years old. I never knew an adult life without him. I didn't know how to live without him. I barely could breathe without him, And everybody just kept telling me, Renee, put one foot in front of the other. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I could barely breathe. And we had never been apart more than 2 weeks in those 32 years. And so, like I said, I just started to deep dive into meditation and into journaling. That's me with empty nest syndrome after being a single mom. I get it. Yes, because they were your whole world, being the single mom, right? I get it. Well, you're welcome to message me, and we can brainstorm how, what that next chapter looks like for you. I would love to talk to you about that if that's something you're interested in. I know I depend and lean a lot on my guides and my divine team. A lot of people don't realize that you have a divine team. We have angels and we have guides and we have passed over loved ones, our ancestors that are always there for us. We have angels. And the thing is because we do have free will, they can kind of guide us, but a lot of times we need to invite them in. We need to say, hey, I need help. And so for me, if you're new, that's my whole world. My whole world is having faith of what is that next step and where are they guiding me next, right? And that's hard for people, and that's hard for me because, like I said, I was an A personality control freak, right? I had to control everything if I could, and now it's like, it's literally day by day. And that's one of the things that they've taught me and that is so important to that process. Did not help. Can you elaborate that comment for me just so I know how you mean it? Is American? Yes, I'm American. I lost my train of thought, and that's okay. Welcome to my page where I'm 100% authentic. I'm just me. I had to learn who I was because I didn't know who I was. I guess we'll go there since I forgot where I was at. That's okay. But learning who I was as a person without him and just learning who I was because I was 16. I didn't know who I was, right? I started popping out babies. Lost my mom at 22 and bro was 12. Then I lost him in 2020. Oh, I am so sorry. So, Erin, let me ask you, how he was 33. So let me ask, did you deal with those losses, or haven't you dealt with them? Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, trust me. Since my husband checked out on me in 2023, I've been to hell and back, and there's nothing that somebody online can say to me that's gonna rain on my parade, right? I've already had one comment today from somebody who I thought was my friend. I have a very narcissist son who keeps my grandchildren from me due to his own selfishness. I'm so sorry. Terry, is it Terry? I have also dealt with that. And not so much keeping them from me or us when my husband was still alive. It was more, my daughter had issues. So then that put a wedge between, right? A little bit. I thought in some states they do. Did you know that? I think they do have some in some states. I don't know what state you're in. You might want to check that out. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. We're just having a chat. I'm all over the place tonight. But I think there are grandparents' rights in some states. I would check some statutes and maybe some court rulings, because I want to say that there are. $11.11. Thank you, Antonio. $11.11. Great loss. I'm sorry for your family's loss. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I need to stop. What do I need to stop exactly? Not in Maine? Okay. Well, you know what? That's what my guide would tell you, or your guides would probably tell you. Maybe you're the first one. Maybe you need to set the precedent. Maybe you should be the one to go, right? We are always waiting for somebody else to take that first step, right? And sometimes it starts with us, right? Change starts with us. That's what I've said that forever and ever. You see 11:11 all the time? I know it's so hard. My friend tells me that all the time. It's hard to type on here. But yes, change starts with us, Terry. So maybe it's time that Maine needs those grandparents' rights. No, but maybe it's time you fight for not just yourself, but other grandparents too, are maybe going through the same thing, right? That's how I believe. I believe that change starts with us. And if we want something bad enough, I grew up with a grandmother who taught me, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you really want to that way, you will be a find a way, make a way kind of person. So maybe it's time that Maine has those rights, and you're just the one who needs to bring it, right? Maybe that change starts with you for other people who are in the same boat that you are. You know, lobby your representatives. You know, they work for you, even though they think they don't, but they do. Just saying. I don't know. I'm one of those people that doesn't believe. I'm just one of those people that doesn't believe in giving up, right? Going, oh, well, it isn't a thing, so make it a thing. Like I said, maybe that's your purpose here. Maybe your purpose is to bring grandparent rights to every state, starting with your own. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, like I said, change starts with you, you know? We're always sitting back waiting for someone else to make that change when we can be the change. You know, you can be the voice for the voiceless grandparents. Just saying. I don't know. Did you see the orb? Did anybody see that orb that was right there? Yes. Was that you? That was my Antonio. He was just here with me. He was the love of my life that I only had for 4 days. My soulmate in many, many lives. Anyway, so yeah, change starts with us. I guess maybe that's my message tonight. because change starts with us, you know? I'm just one person on here trying to give people a place to go where they know that they're not alone, right? I'm just one voice on TikTok. Just one. You know, one voice on TikTok, one voice on Facebook, one voice on Instagram, right? But you never know what your one voice could do. Anyway, has anybody else had a loss or anything else they need to talk about tonight? I wasn't planning on being on very long tonight. I'm not feeling the greatest. Anybody? By the way, if you're new here and you missed it, my name is Renee, by the way. Real quick, I'm just going to say, so I am here as of right now. I had to cut back a day. Tuesday through Thursday. I do mini reads on Wednesday night. If you're not familiar, I am a psychic medium. And so I do mini reads on Wednesday nights. So I'm here Tuesday through Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Generally, I have a new topic every night. Tonight, I just felt like I needed to get on and we basically just have a chat. Talk about what's been going on in my life, because that's what I do here. I'm the resident guinea pig, I always say. So if anybody's got anything else they want to add, I also do full readings if I could talk. And so if you're interested in a reading with somebody who's crossed over, you can find my email down in my bio. That's how I set those up. I also have a YouTube channel. So if you're, not familiar, that is Scorpio Medium. And I upload all of my videos that you find here are uploaded over there. And a lot of times I'll upload my lives over there. A lot of times if we're just chatting, sometimes I'll put the let's chat over there. And sometimes I don't. I don't always do the mini reads over there either. But generally when I have a topic that we're talking about, whether it be the different stages of grief or changing your perspective, whatever it may be, I upload those over on my YouTube channel. Like I said, Scorpio Medium. So if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or just need to vent about today? Anybody? And I also, by the way, have a Venmo. So if you would like to leave me a tip, always greatly appreciated, but never expected. I think that's everything. Let's see. What did I miss? Let me make sure. Yeah, that's everything. Anybody else? It's hard to know if TikTok is hiding my comments. They like to do that sometimes. So, okay. Well, I guess my message tonight is you be the change. You know, it starts with you. And also if you're in transition and you're in the hallway waiting for that next whatever it is that where you're not sure where you're going, invite your team in, right? Invite your angels, your guides, your loved ones in and say, look, I just need your help. Can you guide me? What is my next step? But be prepared for the answer, right? A lot of times people say, well, I pray, but I never get an answer. Well, are you listening? We don't get quiet enough sometimes to listen. I'm estranged from my brother and I found out he is dying. This helps. Oh, good. And can I recommend something? And this is just strictly my opinion, my page, my opinion. Reach out. So you don't have that guilt. You know, unless it's something very, very horrific, right? That it happened between you two, you know, reach out. That would be my opinion. That would be my what I'm going to tell you is reach out. Because let me tell you, when he passes, if you know, he'll go through that life review. It was repeated things. And I get that. But trust me, make peace for you. It's not about him, right? It's about making peace for you. And, you know, forgiveness. What people don't realize is forgiveness is for us. It's not for the other person. So just my 2 cents, my page, my 2 cents. But yeah. But like I said, if you're in the middle of transition and you're not sure where you're going, just know too that it's okay. It's okay that you don't know where you're going. That was actually my message today, is sometimes we're not meant to know where we're going, you know. We're meant to have that faith, the faith of, you know, wherever the divine, our divine team, God, source, universe, whatever it is you say or believe, right? Sometimes it's in divine timing, and they know better than we do. That's all. Anyway, on that note, if nobody else has anything else to say, going once, going twice, I will be back here tomorrow night for mini reads at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you can join us again. I appreciate all of the love and kindness that you showed me tonight. And on that note, I hope you all have a great night. Remember to make tomorrow great, because it's a choice. And I'll see you all tomorrow night for mini reads.